Hey everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here. Welcome back to Painted Studio. We are going to go and do some fun projects today. We unmolded yesterday. You might have seen some of the not the lives, but the short videos I did yesterday with the unmolding. And today we're actually going to make crafts or create projects, do things with all of these, because you see me create this all the time. And I never show you what to do with them. I always show you that I pour this stuff, but I never show you what I actually end up doing with them. So we're gonna do that today. The first thing I'm gonna do though is make sure the volume is down on my iPad, and then I'm going to pop open the live so I can see your comments. Lori, Vicky, Barbara, nice to see you all here. I appreciate you coming by. All right, so we're not gonna dawdle with a lot of chatter today. We're gonna flip the camera down, and then I'm gonna turn an extra light on so we can see really clearly. And so you saw the candy molds that I poured the other day. Well, I popped them all out, and this is what we have. Hey, Teresa, nice to see you. These are so, that's not a candy. These are so cute. So these all came out really nicely. You can see multiple colors. Look how cute they are in the back as well. And if I wanted these colors that are swirled on the back to come out more in the front, when I poured it, I could have gone with a little dowel or something in there and stirred it up a little bit. But I got all of these great results. I mean, how fun are these? Let me pull up some that are all a little different, have a little fun and interesting results. So you can see we have all these different shapes, and literally the molds that we use came from Michael's, and they are for candy making, but they are also fabulous for pouring resin into. They hold them up. They hold up the shapes really well, and because they're for candy, they're glossy on the sides, and that means that your casts come out nice and shiny without having to do anything else to them. Now we also cast a couple other shapes, so I wanted to show you these. Look how cute those came out. All right, look at our little flower. And I swear to God, I wasn't really even trying to get the flower and the petals separately. Hey, Nikki, nice to see you here. But boy, in green and pink, but it just came out that way. I must have had a really good moment pouring this. But look how pretty that came out. And then, of course, we did this one, which I clearly had no plan for the pouring. But look at all that great detail that came out. Hi, Maddie. Nice to see you here. And then I popped another big rose, which is they're always so pretty. And these come out so nicely. And then another one, this was a soap mold. Look how pretty that came out. So I filled the bottom of it with butterscotch tinted epoxy. And then I did multicolored pours in there, and it just came out so great with all these different details. Then we had some big pours, so I'll show you how those came out. You might remember that I poured one in and came out looking like that on the back, which in itself is cool as hell. But there's the front. This is our Buddha. This is the butterscotch pigment and apple green. And then we put some white in here. So look how pretty that came out, our little Buddha. I really like how that guy came out. Then we had our Mardi Gras figurine. So this is how it looks in the back with the pink and the blue and the white. And again, this in itself is super cool. So if you like how this kind of stuff comes out, get plain molds. Pour into plain molds, and you can use these for coasters or little snack trays or whatever. But of course, this is how the other side came out. It's our Mardi Gras mask, which I just loved. And then our final one, where we put the tamisay flakes in, the metal leaf flakes, and they were pretty. And if you notice, the back is frosted. Well, that's because I sanded it, because the tamisay, when I poured it in, and then it floated up a little bit, which is pretty normal, but it had a rough surface, so I needed to sand it smooth, and you'll see why. Now, on the other side, you can see it is our moon goddess on there. And I actually highlighted it with a little metal powder because you literally could not see any of the pattern. This here was so busy looking on the front, you couldn't see it. So it needed a little flash gilding with some mica powder. So we did all of those. And then, of course, I have other little bits and bobs that I have poured over the last few months. So my first thought is, let's start with something cool. Let's turn these into magnets. You know, refrigerator magnets, whatever. And I went to I went to Michael's, and they have these things, which are basically business card magnets. You mount your business card on the front, and then the back is magnetic. So I tested this one earlier, so that's why it's out and pulled crooked. I don't know how well this is going to stick since I tested this before sanding this. So let's hope that this works. Otherwise, I have to pull another one out, and I hate wasting. Okay? Oh, that's stuck on much better. Now, that's a thin magnet for something like that. But guess what? I have my little signs here, and these are magnetic. So I'm going to put this down just so you can see it. It holds it. No problem. I was worried about the weight, so I tested with the biggest one first. So we're going to turn all of these into magnets. Now, I could also drill holes in them, make them door hangers, make them Christmas ornaments, make a mobile out of them. There's lots of options, but for me, the most useful and the most practical, magnets. And because they're epoxy, it's not like if they get icky, you can just rinse them off. And I did seal up my gold powder here with a spray sealer. So even this can go and get wet and it won't hurt it. Although there is a little piece of crud on there that was sticking to it really aggressively. Now I just got to peel the back off of these. And we're going to put that one on there. Now the other thing I should tell you too is that because the way molds work, things tend to settle in the center and you might have a little ridge or a lip on the edge. So sand your edge down, cut it down, trim it down, whatever you have to do, because your magnet actually has to get in contact with something to stick. And so if your magnet's raised from the back, it won't stick. See? I didn't sand this down enough, so I'll have to pull it off, grab some sandpaper, and get my edges down a little better. Oh well, not like I haven't done that before. So I put the magnet back on the strip. Hang on a second. That's the backing strip, just so I don't ruin it. And I'll show you how we sand it. Hang on, let me grab a piece of sandpaper over here. Okay. There's lots of ways. You can use an orbital sander. You can use a belt sander. You can use a sanding bench. You can use whatever makes you happy. But for the purpose of our live, we're going to take our little block, put it on, this is 220 sandpaper, and we're just going to go like this. So as you can see, it built up a little bit of sanded off resin. And then I just come in, I wipe it down, and then I give it a little feel. And it's still got a little edge, because as you can see, I sanded the edges, but I didn't touch the center. And you can see it's starting to level out. The edge, the area around the edge is getting a little wider each time I do this. And I'll keep going on that until it's completely level and I can put the magnet on the back. Now we're going to do a couple other ones as magnets, but we're going to do them a little differently. So we have all these little shapes here. nice little candy shapes. So they're not going to work with these big sheet stuff. So I went and got what are called button magnets. It's because they're about the size of a button. And again, this whole pack of magnets, I think cost $3.49, and there's 50 of them in there. So you can see they're magnets. And let's see. Did they come with the adhesive thingy on there? No, they didn't. Some of these come with adhesive peel-off backs, some of them don't, so I have to remember which is which. So I bring over glue. We're going to use Old Faithful E6000 today. And I'm going to open it up. I may have to punch a little hole in here because I don't know if I've clogged the nozzle at any point. Let's peel off all the old glue. I'm sure you all have to do this sometimes in your studio, because even this, and I tend to really work hard to clean that out so that I can put it away and not have to do this. Doesn't work. I still end up having to come in and scrape glue out of the nozzle. All right, let's see if we got anything coming up here. Or if I'm gonna have to get a poker. I gotta get a little poker stick. The glue is down deeper than that knife blade will work. So the same pickers I use for heat transfer vinyl adhesive, I have a whole bunch of these. I use them to also pop through things like glue. And yes, I do separate out the ones that I use for glue, because the ones that I use for glue end up looking like that. The ones I use for picking are clean. All right, so let's put a little glob of the E6000 on here. There we go. Now, I have to check because I never know which side sticks and which ones don't. And of course, I need something magnetic to test it on. All right, that'll work. All right. I have to check on something to make sure it sticks, you know, make sure the magnet is on the right or the wrong side. Actually, I didn't notice that, but I always thought magnets had a right side and a wrong side, so this will show it, because if you put magnets of opposite poles together like this, they resist each other. See, you can see, literally cannot, this is actually a fun thing to do with little kids and show them what magnets are like. So these are opposing and you really have to push them to get them together, but they obviously don't stick, but they do on the other side. And I always thought that, you know, the side that if you put the wrong side of the magnet to something, it wouldn't work on metal. Well, I just proved myself wrong because of that. Good to know. We learn things every day. So I'm gonna make a bunch of magnets. I have a whole bunch of these here, so. So we can take a whole bunch of these. These will just make the cutest refrigerator magnets. So fresh looking. And because they are epoxy and can be washed, unlike a lot of refrigerator magnets that you get like on vacations and stuff, these can be cleaned up and they will last longer than some of those will. Oh, my goodness, my magnets attacked each other and then jumped on a little epoxy cube. Okay. I guess that one really wanted to be glued. Now the round ones, clearly I can't turn them over and let them dry like I'm, with the magnet up like I'm letting these go, because you can't do that with dome shapes. Things roll over. All right, let's get these. I'm just gonna glue whatever ones I have here, the number of magnets I've pulled out, and then we'll move on to the next plan. You know, just as soon as I think I'm smart, I do something that proves how dopey I am. And, well, today was the magnet thing. And I spent my entire life playing with my grandfather was an engineer, so we had magnets all my life. I mean, we played with magnets all the time as kids. You'd think I'd know something better than I knew. Oh, well, stuff happens. Okay, so we're also gonna, I think we're gonna turn this into a magnet as well, and I did sand down, hey Minetta, I did sand down the bottom of this so that it would take it. So let me pull one more magnet out of here. Actually, I want to do both of these. Where did I lose my glue? There it is. I move things out of my sight and then all of a sudden I can't find them. Okay, so clearly we have magnets galore. But then I have these pieces and, you know, I can turn them into magnets or I could do other things with them. Now for this one, this could make a cute, let me put my camera up for a sec. This could make a cute big earring. This could be a cute pendant. So we're gonna drill it and put jump hoops on. We're gonna make a couple pairs of earrings and then we're going to show you how they all look, try it on. All right, so the first thing I have to do is drill some holes. Now, I also picked a couple of other little things that I pulled out of molds earlier, so we're gonna make them into some earrings and stuff. Let's see, I got, pull the different things I gathered together. Whoops, let's not drop things. These can get a little slippery in my fingers, so I don't want to drop anything. All right, so let's do this. First, we're going to drill, and you may want to pay attention because as soon as the drill goes on, you may want to turn your volume down because this can get very unpleasant to listen to. All right, drill's going. That one I don't think went through all the way, so let me get in there. There we go. All right, so let's drill a hole in this. Let's drill a hole here. All right, drilling is done. Safe to leave the volume on. I don't think I need to drill it again for anything unless I've not gotten my holes lined up. Okay, so we're going to talk about making jewelry. Now you see I have all kinds of stuff here. I have jump rings, which are the rings when you see an earring with a dangle on it. It's the ring that hooks it to something else. We have earring backs, so if I wanted to make them for flat backs, I could do that. And somehow the package of backings disappeared. I had a package of ear backs that I ordered. They're not in there. Oh well. Let's start here. All right, we're gonna start with this pair. I'm gonna push everything back and I'm gonna zoom it in so you can see a little better what I'm doing. Let's go with gold jump rings. Now, I got an assorted pack because I didn't know how big or what would happen when I use these. I didn't know what I was going to need. So I got a variety of pack. Let's see, what have I got here? Yes, I really do have an assortment, but that's the size I think I need, just the little ones. I don't think I need any of these bigger ones. I think it's just the little ones I need. Actually, no, now I'm looking at this. I'm gonna need the bigger ones, and I might even need to drill a bigger hole. We're gonna find out. So for those who've never worked with a jump ring, they all have, let's see if I can get it so you can see, they all have a little break at one spot. So if you've ever tried to repair a necklace, you know that sometimes you can overlap. But what you're really supposed to do is take these in 2 pairs of pliers and twist them apart so that now your opening is like that. And you can look to feed it through the hole, which may not work on this one because I think my hole's too small on these. All right, well, I lied. Drilling's not over. I need another bigger sized hole. So we're going to grab our block back. We're going to grab our drill back. And then we're going to drill the holes bigger. So I'm going to do all of the things that I had just drilled with the smaller drill bit into a bigger one. So turn the noise off until you see me put the drill away. Let's see. I'm going to test this to see if it'll fit. Let's do this one more time. There we go. Yep, it worked. So we'll get the others. Just needed to make sure I got the right size this time before I went too far. All right, that should take care of all of it now that I've measured it. You know, something I should have done first. Okay, so we've got, you can see we've got the jump ring through there. And then we have assorted earring hooks to use, different kinds. I think what I want to do probably is just going to be the standard fish hook ones. Okay, and the standard fish hook ones look like that. You all have seen these before. Let's see. Now, we're going to talk about how you can hang these on the hooks, and it'll determine how they hang. So let's get this back here. Okay. Now I try to always turn that open spot, because I don't solder these things. I always try to turn that open spot into a place closer to the bottom so that I don't end up losing my little hook. Now, I'll turn this up here, and actually having it close up is a good thing, because here are my options with this. I can leave it as it is, and then but it doesn't necessarily hang great doing that. I gotta make sure I hang it on the, put them on the right side. You see, what happens is if I hang it straight, this wants to hang sideways, which, you know, not bad, but not perfect. So let me see if I can find my hole in my ear to put this in. I'm going finger blind here. I can't do it without a mirror. So I actually think I need a second jump ring on this. a smaller one to work with the hook to make sure that these hang better. I don't love the way that was hanging, so I want a little teeny weeny jump ring right there. And then we close this back up, move it to the back, try to see if we can get it inside. And then where's the other jump ring? Here's the jump ring. Come on, where's the opening? There it is. I was missing it. Because I'm blind. Where is my jump ring opening? I'm a little blind today. A little blonde, a little blind, a little bit of both. There we go. It just didn't want to open up for me. Not in the way I wanted it to. Okay, sorry. Oh, I forgot I didn't angle this down so you could see what I was doing. Sorry, folks, my phone is being challenging for me, and it's making... There we go. Now I can see everything. Okay, so I've gotten 2 jump rings on here and an earring fish hook. Let's get these pinched together. There we go. And see, now that hangs way better. And I bet I can put that one on now. So let me give it a shot. Sorry, I'm going to do this while I don't have the camera facing my head. It's actually easier if I don't think you guys are watching me try to put an earring on. There we go. So you can see how nicely he hangs right there. How cute is that? So we're going to do that with both of those. So let's have me lie these down here so that I can see what I was doing. And I kind of need to finish pinching that closed correctly. There we go. That's better. All right, and here's another big hoop. Let's try not to flip these all on the floor. That'll make for a long cleanup. I really need to open that up a lot wider. And you have, how wide you have to open up your jump rings is very much dependent on how wide what you're putting through, putting them through is. So this is a little on the thick side, so I have to make sure to give myself plenty of wiggle room with the jump rings. All right, let's get this one open and we'll put the other back on it. Or the other hook on it, I mean. Make sure I get these on facing the right way. And you will put the hooks on and stuff the wrong way from time to time. It just takes a little practice. All right. And there we go. We got a pair of wintry, sparkly earrings. So we're going to take those faces that we had here. These are clear ones. They're a little more summery in their coloring. I'm going to move that mess over here. We're going to take some jump rings here. We have another assorted pack of jump rings. And now that I've done the first pack, or first pair of earrings, I am pretty familiar with what we need for the hooks. Now this is a different kind of hook because I wasn't able to get the fisheye hooks in silver. They have them in rhodium, which is grayer, so I just decided to hold off for a second. And I wanted to try these lever hook ones. I wanted to see how they went and worked in here. So again, inexpensive. Now, these are all plated. If you need real metal, you can find them through Jewelry Supply. But this was, you know, this is all casual stuff I picked up at Michael's yesterday. So, you know, don't, some of this might turn your ears green, to be quite blunt. Okay, so now first thing we're gonna do is get the jump rings here. And let's open them with our little pliers. Open a little wider. There we go. Through. Yep, it's gonna have to have a little silver jump ring in there. Now, I kind of ordered some of this stuff blind, but I've made jewelry before. I've done some of this stuff before. I used to do a ton of stuff like this for craft shows. Sorry, my pliers keep sliding in my hands. But that doesn't mean, when you're doing this for yourself, it's always a good idea to try to measure the size rings you need for the earring hooks that you have or the posts that you're using. I truly don't know if this jump ring is going to fit through the opening for the earring I have here. That might be a little big, so I might have to use one of the rhodium ones. I need to get a grip on this. It doesn't want me to grip it. There we go. Oops. I thought I dropped it on the floor. Didn't drop it on the floor, just dropped it on the table. Now we're going to find out if this opening is big enough to fit this, which I'm pretty, yeah, it's not. So those need a smaller ring, so we're going to have to use a little, we'll use the fish hooks in the rhodium instead of in the silver. And as you can see, here's silver and here's rhodium. The rhodium is grayer. All right, let's take that off. And then when I'm done with all of this, I need to find a big old baggie and a Tupperware thing to put all these little bits and pieces into. All right, so we're just going to use this one instead because the hole's just a little bigger. And we know they fit because they fit on the other pair that we just made. Oops, knocking jump rings on the floor. Just what I was trying to avoid. Now you know why jewelers often work on velvet, because things don't slip and slide and fall quite so easily. So I'm just pinching the jump rings back together so that they are even and clean. And there we go. Another little earring. These are so cute. You know, I said I've been pouring all these little odds and ends for forever and never knew what I was going to do with them. Well, look, we're making earrings out of them today. So there's this one. Let's see if I can get this in or if I have to twist that open for. Yep, I got to twist it open further. Go. And then a little silver jump ring. Let's see. Sorry folks, my hands are a little sore today. Between one healing thumb and one that's about to get work done, they're giving me a little bit of a fit. Okay, there's that one. Come on, open up. There we go. Not quite open enough. Now see, if this were real silver, I could have probably just done that with my fingers, because real silver and real gold are much softer than the metals I'm playing with today. Come on. There we go. Back together. And we have another very cute pair of earrings. Now, these may not be your style to make them, but there's lots of other things you could do. If you like these little candy shapes, instead of pouring them as thick as I poured them, pour them only, you know, 1/4 of an inch deep, and then you can either drill them and make them drops, or you can mount the backs to them and make them post earrings. Let me flip them up. So this is going to look like a lot of earring right now, but that could be a very cute post earring, or it could be a very cute drop earring. So you have options of the kinds of things that you can do with these. All right, so we got one last one. I drilled this. Now my idea for this really was to make it a pendant versus a pair of earrings. So let me find the jump ring that I want, and I'm keeping this one small because this is these leaves are thinner, so I don't have to fight my way through so much epoxy to do it. So let me find the hole, and that's not going to work. I forgot I didn't drill this one bigger. Hang on just a second. Drill's coming out, so we're going to drill for just a second. All right, turn the sound off for everybody. I may put the drill away, but I never unplug it and stuff during the live because I might have to do stuff like that. Okay, so I made the hole just enough bigger so that the jump ring should go through it. And my fingers don't want to work, so we're going to use the pliers. Man, I just cannot get a grip on stuff today. Let's see, there we go. There we are. I just had to work it in. Oops. Let's get my hands on here. Sorry, phone call coming in. I don't know why, but phone call coming in. Okay. Ooh, geez, I cannot keep a grip on things right now. That shows you my hands are getting a little tired. Boy, oh boy, I am having a bad case of butterfingers today. I'm sorry, everybody. Seriously, Maury, you've been doing this for years. You should think I could get a better grip on it. There we go. All right, I just need to grab this and do a little pinchy here. There we go. Now, this can be, let's flip this up for a second. You could wear it as a pendant on a chain. You could tie it on a ribbon, wear it long or short, or wear it even as a choker. How cute would that be? So we have lots of fun options. Let me zoom out so you're not looking up my nose. All right, so today we have shown the kind of fun things you can do with our epoxy pours into molds. So you can make magnets galore. Even this is a magnet once this is well enough glued on. It's not quite there yet, but it will be there. And then you can make jewelry. You can make charms for a charm bracelet. You can make earrings. You can make necklaces. Heck, if you wanted to, you could build yourself a tiara. All right, everybody, that is the end of our day today. It is Friday, so I hope you all are gearing up for a great weekend. I will see you here tomorrow for those of you who are coming in on a weekend to view, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.